Imagine you have a very expensive car. I don't know, Mercedes, BMW, super expensive car, maybe Ferrari or something. But you don't know it's expensive, so guess what? You take it very casually, you take the key, you scratch around with it, you play with it, you treat it very casually, and you drive it very recklessly. And then imagine, you have a very expensive brand of a car, and you know it's expensive, yet you don't really care about it. You drive it recklessly, you destroy the car, you take the key and scratch over it, and you don't think you really you know it's expensive, but you don't think you're really degrading its value by treating it so casually. Imagine this. And now think about this. You got that car for free. You got that car totally free. You didn't work hard to earn it. Somebody just gifted it to you, and you know it's expensive, but you don't really care about it because you're not really into cars, right? The same is the case with a large part of this Muslim ummah. We've been given this Qur'an as an inheritance. We were born into Muslim families. We didn't like work hard to see the reality of it. We just got it and we just accepted it as the word of God because our parents told us, right? Many of us. And that's why, because of this inherited faith, we don't value the Quran as a priceless thing, as an extremely valuable thing. And that's why we don't go and research into it to see what is valuable in it, what is miraculous in it, what makes it the word of God. Because we simply have taken it for granted. And this is what I'm trying to show you guys. The Quran is nothing ordinary. It's something that is in your possession. It's the most expensive thing in your possession. That's the purpose of the series, to show you. And this is one of the examples that I'm showing you today from two verses of the Quran. One in Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 5, where it says, "You see the earth lifeless, but as soon as we send upon it rain, it begins to stir to life and swell, producing every type of pleasant plant," right? The word to note here is, you see the earth lifeless. How the earth is described as lifeless, dead, death. It's dead, right? No plantation. The same kind of idea about the earth being dead and then bringing life forth is described in Surah Fussilat, chapter way ahead in chapter number 41, verse 39 says, "And of his portents, his signs, is that you see the earth lowly. But when we send down water, it thrilleth and growth, and it grows and gives plantation." Now, the question is, why describe the earth as lowly, meaning something that's submitted itself, that's down, that doesn't have any plantation, versus why describe the earth lifeless, dead here? The Arabic words, let me show you the Arabic words used in chapter number 22 is hamida, which has the connotation, which has the meaning of something being dead, completely dead, right? Lifeless. You see the earth lifeless. And the reason I chose this particular translation here in chapter number 41, because it gives the meaning of the word lowly. The Arabic word is khashi'a. Khashi'a has the meaning of something that submits itself, that bows down and submits itself. And that's why I chose this translation, which says lowly, right? The earth is lowly. It has the same meaning. The earth has no plantation, and then water comes down and grows. But why choose the word khashi'a, meaning lowly, something that submits, in chapter number 41? And why use the word lifeless, hamida, in chapter number 22? Why not just, in both cases, you're just telling us that the earth is lifeless, then water comes down and it gives forth this vegetation. There's no vegetation, water comes down and there's vegetation. Why did it do it? Do you think the Quran was just trying to produce some variety, or the author was trying to show he has a variety of vocabulary? No, this is not the purpose. He is trying to point out, knocking at your door. Why did he do this? Trying to show you his sign. Look at this. This verse where he uses the word hamida, meaning lifeless, death, the context is that of life and death, of being dead and coming back to life. The same verse, I'll just go through the English translation. You can see the Arabic yourself. Oh, humanity, if you are in doubt about the resurrection, meaning coming back to life, then know that we created you from dust, sperm drop. Then he describes the life cycle. Then we developed you into a clinging clot, so on and so forth. He's describing how something dead comes to life. And then even the next verse, the very next verse says, this is because Allah alone is the truth and He alone gives life to the dead. This is the context of life and death. That's why it was more appropriate to say the earth is lifeless. However, in Surah Fussilat, chapter 41, when He describes the earth as lowly, something that submits and prostrates, or meaning here it means death, but the word selection is the one that has a connotation, that has the shade of meaning of being something that submits and being lowly. See the verses before it. Go 2 verses before it and you will see, and of His signs are that the night and the day and the sun and the moon do not prostrate. See, it has the context, has the meaning of something of prostrating. Do not prostrate to the sun or the moon, but prostrate to Allah. And then the next verse, but if they are too proud, still those who are with thy Lord glorify Him in night and day and tire not. Subhanallah, there is the meaning of somebody submitting to God, praising Him, and that's why He chooses the word, the earth is lowly. Subhanallah, it wasn't purposeless. The words are perfectly chosen for their context, the way the context is going, where the context requires a word that relates to life and death, use the word lifeless for earth. Where the context requires the submission, the idea of submission, it says the earth is lowly, as if submitted. Subhanallah, how perfect is this selection of words, right? This is what I'm trying to show you. Come out of that inherited faith, believe for the true evidences you see, not just that inherited faith. That's what is going to create the conviction in the heart. Otherwise, you will just believe it as a something inherited, and you will not see the value of it. The faith will not ground in your heart, and otherwise see the signs. So may God give us complete conviction in the Qur'an as the word of God. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.